You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. David Goggins. Welcome to Sarah's Self-Discipline, where you learn the mindset, habits, and discipline needed to take control of your life. You don't need more motivation. You need to become the kind of person who can act even when motivation disappears. And that is exactly where David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me becomes powerful. Because the real question isn't, how do you become motivated? The real question is, how much are you willing to do when you don't feel like doing anything? David Goggins became known for extraordinary physical and mental endurance. But the deeper lesson from Can't Hurt Me isn't about running hundreds of miles or becoming a Navy SEAL. It's about refusing to let your weakest moments control your life. Lesson 1. Stop negotiating with yourself. Think about how often you negotiate with yourself. You say you'll wake up early. Then the alarm rings. You tell yourself, just 5 more minutes. You decide you'll exercise. Then you feel tired. You decide you'll work on your goal. Then your phone becomes more interesting. The problem isn't always that you lack ability. The problem is that you become too comfortable obeying your excuses. Goggins' philosophy challenges you to stop asking, do you feel like doing it? Instead, ask, does this need to be done? If the answer is yes, do it. Your feelings can change every hour. Your commitment shouldn't. Lesson 2. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Most people spend their lives trying to eliminate discomfort. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid hard work. They avoid rejection. They avoid failure. They avoid anything that makes them feel weak. But every time you automatically escape discomfort, you teach your brain one lesson. When life gets difficult, quit. Goggins teaches the opposite approach. Use discomfort as training. Wake up when you want to stay in bed. Finish the task you've been avoiding. Put your phone away when your attention is being stolen. Keep working when the excitement disappears. You don't need to destroy yourself. You need to deliberately practice doing difficult things. Because discipline grows when you repeatedly prove that discomfort doesn't control you. Lesson 3. The 40% rule. One of the most famous ideas associated with Goggins is the 40% rule. The idea is that when your mind tells you that you've reached your limit, you may still have far more capacity than you realize. You should understand this carefully. It doesn't mean you should ignore injuries, medical warnings, or physical danger. The deeper lesson is psychological. Your mind often tells you to stop before you've actually exhausted your ability to continue. Think about studying. You become bored. Your mind says, enough. Think about building a business. You experience your first failure. Your mind says, maybe this isn't for you. Think about changing your life. Progress becomes slow. Your mind says, what's the point? That is the moment you need to question the quitting signal. Sometimes you don't need more talent. You simply need to continue a little longer. Lesson 4. Build an accountability mirror. One of Goggins' powerful concepts is facing yourself honestly. Look at your life without excuses. If you're constantly distracted, admit it. If you're procrastinating, admit it. If you're wasting hours every day, admit it. If you've broken promises to yourself repeatedly, admit it. This isn't about hating yourself. It's about removing the lies that prevent change. You cannot fix a problem you refuse to acknowledge. So ask yourself, what are you pretending not to know about your own life? That question can be uncomfortable, but answering it honestly can change everything. Lesson 5. Turn your past into fuel. Your past can become an excuse, or it can become evidence that you can survive difficult things. Your failures don't automatically determine your future. Your mistakes don't have to become your identity. Instead of saying, this happened to me, so I can't change, you can ask, what can this experience teach me? You don't need to erase your past. You need to stop allowing your past control your future. Lesson 6. Stop chasing comfort. Modern life makes comfort incredibly easy. Entertainment is always available. Food is always available. Your phone is always available. You can avoid boredom instantly. You can avoid difficult thoughts instantly. But convenience can quietly destroy discipline. When everything is easy, your ability to tolerate difficulty becomes weaker. That's why you need moments where you deliberately choose discipline over comfort. Read instead of scrolling. Work instead of procrastinating. Exercise instead of making excuses. Focus instead of constantly switching between distractions. The goal isn't to make your entire life miserable. The goal is to make sure comfort doesn't become your master. The biggest lesson from Can't Hurt Me, the biggest lesson isn't that you need to become David Goggins. You don't. You don't need to run ultramarathons. You don't need to train like a special operator. You don't need to live in constant suffering. The lesson is much simpler. You need to become someone who keeps promises to yourself. When you say you'll wake up at 6, wake up. When you say you'll finish the work, finish it. When you decide to stop wasting your time, stop. Every promise you keep builds self-respect. Every excuse you repeatedly accept makes the next excuse easier. Your future is being shaped by these tiny moments. So the next time your mind says, I don't feel like it, don't immediately obey. Pause. Ask yourself, am I actually unable to continue? Or am I simply uncomfortable? That question can become the beginning of a completely different life. Because discipline isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming more reliable than your excuses. This is Sarah's self-discipline. If this video made you look at your own habits differently, like the video so more people searching for discipline can find it. And if you're ready to stop letting comfort control your life, subscribe to Sarah's self-discipline. Then comment one thing you've been avoiding and write the action you're going to take today. Don't promise yourself a completely different life tomorrow. Start by keeping one promise to yourself today. And when you come back here, we'll build the next level of discipline together.